Hello, beautiful beautiful brushes friends. My name is Natalie. This is Natalie Levin Astrology. I'm so happy to be with you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am making a full moon guidance video today for you. I'm so happy that I can do this. What a treat. What a treat to me. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I invite you to go to my website, natalielevinastrology.com. I have some really special offers there. I have a class that I'm working on and also a membership that I'm working on. And I really, really appreciate when you subscribe to my channel and that you share this video and you like it and you comment. I read all your comments and I am very touched and honored to read how these videos land for you. Thank you for taking the time to write. So we're having this full moon in Cancer. And it's happening tomorrow on December 6th. No, it's not December. Oh my God. It's January 6th, full moon in Cancer. And it's going to be quite, it's a biggie. It's a biggie, my friends. It's happening, what time is it happening? 6:08 p.m. tomorrow. So that's Friday. So we have to, it's Thursday right now when I'm making this video. And we are in the buildup to this full moon, and things that come up for me when I'm looking at the chart around it are, how do I allow myself to be comfortable with change and surprise and shocks? How do I feel when I feel like I've gotten like an electrical lightning bolt through my body and it awakens my feeling self? What is that like for me? Can I hold space for that? Can I hold space for myself when all of the plans and scheduling and imaginations that I've been having shift and change, and they change over and over at the last minute? Mercury retrograde, and he is going to be very involved with this full moon. And can I notice that I'm having big emotions around this shift and change? And can I allow my emotions to happen and keep grounding back down into my body? Can I keep grounding back down into, okay, there's shifts, there's changes. I might feel myself get irritated and irritable about the fact that whatever I was imagining had to change and shift. I also invite you to know there is an energy of death with this full moon. It might not be actually that a spirit is leaving its body. That might not be, it might not be a literal death. It could be something like the way I have been relating to the room I'm in feels like it has to die and something new wants to be born. And I don't know what that looks like. Do I want to give birth to a new color of my walls? Do I want to change the way the relationship to how quickly the words come out of my mouth? Does that want to die and something new be born because it doesn't feel, Cancer moon doesn't feel emotionally appropriate or resonant with me or aligned, that the way I speak, I want it to be, I want it to shift. I want it to dissolve. I want something new to be born. Can I use the lightning bolt of awakening that is part of this full moon to harness that power of change that my deep tender feelings are spurring on? Can that be a possibility? That's a general summary of this full moon. I also invite you to take what you like and leave the rest about what I say, and also know that I am seeing the astrology through the veil of my experience in this lifetime. And if it doesn't match for you, I invite you to let it go. And again, take what you like and leave the rest. The full moon is also happening as Mars in Gemini is starting to slow down. He's been retrograde for a while, and he is getting ready to station on January 12th. So there is, if you do speak out of the big emotions that will probably be elicited during this full moon and are happening already in the buildup, can you make sure that you give yourself space and time before the words come out so that they come out with care and thoughtfulness and gentleness, which is a very tall order with Mars involved, because Mars wants to cut and Mars wants to shoot and Mars is fast. So what is it like to slow down the pace of your words that are coming out of your mouth during this time? I am pretty sure it will allow you more chance and opportunity to do more good than harm. And when in doubt, I would say to not say anything. See what that's like. When in doubt, simply sit with silence and see what happens. I wonder what that would be like. I'm going to do a short sign by sign summary as well about how this full moon might be activating your chart. And again, take what you like and leave the rest about what I say. So the first sign of the zodiac is Aries. And for my Aries and Aries rising friends, this full moon is happening in your home, family of origin, mother area of your chart. So what comes up for me around this is, what do I feel? What are my emotions? It could be a time during this full moon when if you are, if you have been doing any sort of inner work, looking at why am I the way I am? Why do I have these emotional responses? What is it? Where did all of my emotional wiring originate? This would be a full moon that might exaggerate those emotions. So maybe you had a not very emotionally intimate relationship with your father. And it might be that during this full moon period, which is happening now, it's happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, give yourself a wide berth. Maybe you come across some male person in your life who echoes what it was like to grow up with your father, your emotionally distant father, and you feel activated again. Oh my gosh, I feel that loss again. I feel that abandonment. I feel so bereft. And can you use this emotional Cancer moon to allow these feelings to come out, to allow the tears to come out? Can you perhaps, maybe you have to retreat into your shell for a little bit, the Cancer shell, and be inside, and then eventually can you come out and let that water element flow, let it come out, it's an honor and a privilege to feel our feelings. And I also want to say, for those of you who are Aries, you might also feel this full moon in some way in your work area of your life, like your career area. So if sometimes when you are at a job or in some sort of a work environment, there can be a person at your job who echoes a vibration of someone that you grew up with, and you might start to act out patterns with that person that are really about your family of origin templates. So let's say your boss comes along and you really want your boss to like say, oh, you're doing such a great job, amazing work, Jim. And your boss like doesn't even notice you or give you the time of day. That might be the echo of the emotionally distant father that is getting replayed. And you might get so activated by that, but it's not really about your job. It's about something much younger. This is an opportunity to reflect back on that. Who is this person echoing from my childhood? What is that like? Just to, let that sink in, let that simmer for a bit and see what more is revealed. I wonder how that lands for you, Aries. It's impactful. It's impactful. So we'll move on. Taurus. And Taurus, my Taurus friends, Taurus rising. This Cancer moon is landing for you in your communication area of your chart and the way your mind works. So it's an invitation for you to step into, when I speak, when I share what it's like to be in my skin, is it coming from the heart? Can I really connect in with my emotions around in a kind and gentle way, in a way that creates value so that the people around me can know what it's like to be in my skin. I'm having an opportunity with this full moon in Cancer as a Taurus or Taurus rising to be more transparent about the experience of being me with the people around me. And maybe it means that I sit with the people around me and cry. It might look like that. It might be my writing a letter to myself even and saying, this is what it feels like to be me, and allowing yourself to write that letter. And then maybe you simply let it sit. Maybe you burn it in a full moon ritual. Can you allow your words, Taurus rising, to have power, to know that when you speak, you're casting a spell for yourself? Like, oh, wow, I am worthy simply because I exist. I'm a Taurus rising. My ruling planet is Venus, the goddess of love, the goddess Aphrodite. I honor that I vibrate her frequency just by existing. And what are your feelings about that? What does it feel like to say that? I wonder how that lands, my Taurus rising friends. If you are a Gemini, see where this lands for you. Okay, Gemini friends and Gemini rising. This full moon in Cancer is talking to your house of, what is my house, like my actual physical house, my foundation, where I live, my resources. How do I feel about that? Do I feel cared for? Do I feel like I'm safe? Do I feel like I have food to eat and a roof over my head? And as a Gemini rising, your brain might want to figure it all out because you tend to live in the cerebral. However, this is more of a feeling space, which might not be particularly comfortable for you. Again, what is it like to let your air dive into the water? Like, okay, I'm going to land in the water here. I'm going to swim around. There's two of me as a Gemini rising. Can I let the two of me swim around? What am I feeling? Do I need to, no need. Do I want to have a conversation with the magical psychic parts of myself, because it's talking to the 8th house as well, the magical psychic parts of myself, and see what do the deepest parts of my psyche and soul want to communicate to me? What do they want me to know? What do I feel about that? Do I even know what I'm feeling? Are there words to describe this? Or because Gemini wants to put words on everything, can I sit in the mystery of the not knowing? Can I sit in the not knowing? I actually don't know how to explain with words what I'm feeling, and let that be. Let it be so. It's hard. That's hard for Gemini. Gemini wants to like take in the data and metabolize it and deliver it in a new way. And it's going, your Gemini risings, you're going to be asked to land more in a feeling space. So good luck. I believe in you. And Cancerians, Cancer risings, it's me. This full moon is landing in your first house. It's really, there's a part of your body called your perineum. It's there. It's this most root of you is where this deeply, deeply feeling full moon is landing. It feels like it can be related to, I actually will say, like sexual awakening in some way, or connection to a sacred sense of sexuality. Like you, Cancer energy is also the womb portal. It's the mother portal. It's the, I give thanks for this being of light that comes into my womb portal. This goes for, this is Cancer energy. So what psychic baby might be getting formed for you in the energetic womb? what psychic life, what new psychic life is seeding itself inside you right now? It's not clear. It's mysterious. I don't expect you to have an answer like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to be birthing in 9 months out of my creative libido. I don't expect you to have an answer. It's more, like, can I sit with this sacred moment? It feels like a sacred moment for Cancer rising. This is very, something new is conceiving in your energetic creative libido, and it also is impacting your relationships, your long-term relationships. What does that look like? Are people around you shifting and changing? Are you shifting and changing in terms of how you relate to your long-term friendships, your long-term partnerships, and even contractual relationships, like you as an employee, you working with clients? Something new is coming. Something new is being seeded. Can you rest in that mystery? What does that look like for you? We go to Leo. Leo energy. We have for you, Leo risings. This Cancer full moon is landing in your house of faith and connection to the all that is. Your house of connection to the fact that we all leave our bodies eventually. Like this, the spirit doesn't stay in the body for all time. It leaves eventually. So if you're a Leo and Leo rising, here's this invitation. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know I like to go out and frolic and play and, do, I am the energy of the sun as a Leo rising. And here I'm being asked to put a soft focus around myself, allow the bubbles of emotion and water to come up through the fire of me. Here come, what do I feel? What am I feeling? Can I connect? Oh my gosh, I'm doing this with my eyes closed so much. Maybe that's because I'm channeling something. Can I connect in as a Leo rising? How do I want to talk to the beings, my spirit guides and angels and most well-heeled ancestors that are connected to the energy of mother, archetype of mother? Cancer is mother. How can I connect in with the beings who, and even Mother Earth? Like, can I dive into the fact that I am divinely led and divinely protected by divine mother archetype? I don't know how easy that is for Leo energy. It sounds like, I wonder how that feels for any of you who are Leos and are listening to this. It also is an invitation for you to perhaps bring some more reverent divinity to your daily routines. Like, instead of just flying out of your house in the morning, can I, even just for the next 24 hours, pay attention, like the same way if I were having an ideal mother experience with an infant, I am so tenderly caring for my toothbrush. I'm tenderly caring for my oatmeal as I make it. Can I gently care for my smoothie as I blend it up with reverence and care for your beautiful, precious self, that you are the mother energy for your own gorgeous self in your daily life? I wonder how that lands for you, Leos. And if we go to Virgo energy, dear Virgos, this full moon is landing for you in your 11th house. Let me make sure I am saying that. Ooh, oh, hold on. I want to make sure I'm saying that correctly. Hold on. Yes, that's correct. In your 11th house, Virgos. So here's a chance for you, Virgos, to tune in to where do I feel most nurtured and cared for in communities and groups. When I go out with those people who are ravers, like that, maybe I notice I don't feel particularly cared for. I don't feel particularly nourished. Do I want to make a shift or a change? Something's being illuminated here with the full moon. Do I want to find the people that in my are my friends and communities, areas of my life? Do I feel like I want to nurture them and that they are able to nurture me? Can I do both? Can I receive nurture and offer it in those areas of my life? And if not, does there need to be a change or a shift with how I interact with these groups and communities? Is my definition of fun changing as this full moon is landing? Do I want to invite in some a more profound connection to what I consider fun, instead of it being all like roller coaster rides and diving off diving boards, which is, I love all that. And my idea of fun now has really changed to, it's more like, can I sit with you in a long, languorous meal and have a really good conversation? That feels nourishing, Cancer moon, to my spirit and soul. So Virgos, I wonder how that lands for you. Does that make sense to you? I'd love to hear. And we go from Virgo to Libra. And for Librans, this full moon is landing in your career area of your chart. So here I am, a Libra. I'm having this full moon illumination in my career area of my chart, and it's an invitation for me to tune in. Do I feel heart connected to what I'm doing? Does it light me up in my emotional world? If not, is there a place somewhere in my life that I connect with my emotions that is enough and fulfilling enough to make up for the space that I'm not feeling emotionally connected when I'm doing my career or my life in the public eye? How does that reflect back on my home life? Like if I'm out there and I'm like doing this, let's say I'm making like the little piece of a pen that makes a pen write over and over and over in a factory, and that does not feel emotionally fulfilling. Do I go home and then expect my home life to fill all the gaps for me emotionally and nurture wise? Here's an opportunity to take a look at that, to take a look at how perhaps the power dynamic of your life might not be in balance, Libra. And how can I make a change around that? Like, here's a creative brainstorm. Like maybe as I'm making those little pen parts at my job, I can put on a podcast that allows me to connect in with psychic stories from like a psychic story, which is an amazing podcast, which I was on. That's a fabulous podcast. Or I listen to a podcast about people having near-death experiences. Where can I find my nurturing if my career area of my chart, if my career is not the place where I feel nurtured, where I do all the nurturing? What does it look like? Can I step into that? Librans, how does that land with you? I'd love to hear if you're open to sharing. And then from Libra, we go to Scorpio. And Scorpio is this full moon is landing for you in your ninth house, which is maybe there's an itch or an illumination of some sort of travel that you'd be interested in doing. Like, is a trip bubbling up for you, some sort of a far journey? It could be an inner journey too. If I'm a Scorpio rising, maybe do I want to go and take like a creative imagination journey to see the deepest crevices of my imagination? Do I want to, if I'm a Scorpio rising with this full moon, is there some sort of a teacher who feels caring and tender for me? Does my heart feel touched by a teacher or a special guru? Am I the guru? Do I know how to care for others and also care for myself? Can I use this full moon, Scorpios, to maybe connect with nature a little more? Can I dive in? Can I do some sort of even lie on the ground for a little while during this full moon, Scorpio friends? I wonder how this sounds to you. It also is asking you as Scorpio risings to tune into your ability to communicate about what it's like to be in your skin. Scorpio risings can tend to, you feel so deeply that you might not even be able to articulate what it's like to be in your skin. And I invite you to use this full moon maybe to illuminate perhaps, okay, when I'm in my skin, I feel tingly. I feel heavy. I don't feel the bottom half of my body. Like, can you start to identify feelings in your body You might not have to come up with words like sad, happy. It can be, my left pinky feels numb. How does this feel to you? Is this resonating, Scorpio, Scorpio risings? I'm curious. We go to Sagittarians, and Sagittarians, this is landing in your 8th house. I'm going to pause and make sure that I'm on track here. Hold on. 8th house, Sagittarians. This is landing in your 8th house. So this full moon for my Sagittarius rising friends is asking you to, it feels like can you contain a bit of your ebullient, expansive nature to dive and allow yourself to sink down into the depths, the deepest, darkest depths of your spirit and your psyche. This might feel, I wonder if this full moon is going to feel really heavy, extra heavy and emotional for you as a Sagittarius rising. It's really an invitation to go into the parts of yourself that you probably don't like to look at, and that they might come up and they might actually get electrically illuminated during this full moon. Like, oh, here's a lightning bolt, so you can see the landscape. Here's another lightning bolt, so you can see this landscape. Here's another lightning bolt. Here's another landscape. It's not the most comfortable energy, and if you feel overwhelmed, I invite you to know this too shall pass. The planets are always moving. You can also, it's possible that some sort of Sagittarians, you might get some illumination around an inheritance, or also taxes that come, and money that comes from other people. Like, I'm a little excited for you. Maybe some sort of an inheritance will be shown around mother energy during this full moon for you, Sagittarians. If that happens, I'd love to hear about it if you're open to sharing. Yeah. We go to Capricorn, and Capricorn, my Capricorn friends, this full moon for you is landing in your 7th house, which is around marriage, long-term relationships, contracts. So let's say if you're in a marriage and you're a Capricorn, this would be a time when you might feel extra tender, extra sensitive, which might not be so comfortable for you as a Capricorn. I feel like the energy of Capricorn often does not want to spend time in the emotional realm. So what would it be like if you allowed yourself, Capricorn risings, to actually land in your emotions? What is your fantasy about what would happen if you let yourself cry? I know that some of my Capricorn people say, oh, it's a waste of time to cry. My face gets puffy. It's not productive. And crying, tears contain 14 different kinds of toxins. So maybe if you think about it that way, Capricorn risings, and invite yourself to know that when you're crying, you're purging. It might feel more productive, for lack of a better word. Can you allow yourself to be more of a human being, Capricorns, in your relationship? For this illumination of, oh, wow, I'm always doing. Can I, when I'm in my relationship, can I simply be with the other person and not try to make anything happen? Can I not get up and wash the dishes? Can I not get up and do the laundry? Can I sit here and breathe with this person? If I'm in a contractual relationship with another human being, like I'm a client and I have a therapist, or vice versa, can I allow there to be a little more heart involved in this experience, a little more tenderness, a little more I'm receiving, I'm giving, as opposed to this is a business transaction? I think that will do some transformative work at your very root of your isness. If you're able to allow a little more emotion into this conversation. I wonder how this lands for you, Capricorn risings. We move to Aquarius. Aquarians, this full moon is landing for you in your area of your chart that's around your daily life. So your daily routines and your health. So if I'm an Aquarius rising, I am being invited to where in my daily life can I invite the energy of mother in even more? It doesn't have to look like an actual physical mother. It's, can I take extra time even to give my, I mean, I don't know this. I feel like this is going to feel uncomfortable for some people. For me to give my own self caresses. Like, oh, Natalie, yes, yes. Like, can you picture, maybe give yourself, imagine you're a cat. I don't, is it easier to do it that way? Because I know that even for me, like imagining giving myself tenderness is uncomfortable. It is. And I have Aquarius energy in my chart. And yet this full moon is really asking how can I bring more of this, in Italian, coccole, it's care, tender caresses to myself, the energy of it in my daily life. What can be more nurturing for me in my daily life that feels caring and tender? And what does it look like to extend that to others in my daily life? I've heard rushing is violence. So what is it like for me, Aquarius rising, to slow down? And if I have a cat or a human in my life, to allow more space and time so that I can give an extra hug, hold a hand, say, I love you, or I like you, or I see you, allowing in this archetype of the really witnessing and attuned mother to yourself and others as you do your daily routine, as you tend to your health. Like, I'm taking my antidepressant with love. I give thanks that my antidepressant is nurturing and tender for me. Like, you can talk to your meds. Yes, my friends, you can talk to your meds. And we go to Pisces, the grand finale. Pisces, this is taking place for you in your 5th house. And it's the area of your chart that's around fun, short-term romantic relationships. Can you, if you are a Pisces rising, what feels fun and nurturing for you, Pisces rising? I know for me, again, I really love to go to a restaurant, eat delicious food with a best friend or a loved one, and sit for a long period of time with no time constraints. So there's that as a possibility. When I'm speaking during this full moon, Pisces rising, know that your words, I invite you to choose them carefully. They have import, they have impact, they have power. Can the words that you speak, can you even invite your words to be imbued and saturated with the frequency, the flavor of the Cancer full moon? That is, I am the nurturing mother. I am the archetype of divine mother. And when I speak to you, communities, groups, friends, I give thanks that my words vibrate that out to you. And that in turn will feel nurturing and caring for me as a Pisces, which feels fun for this particular Cancer full moon. Whew! That's a lot. How does this land, everybody? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this full moon is not a small one. It's big. It's really big. It's a lot. It's happening with Mercury retrograde. I invite you to be so gentle with yourself. Easy does it. Do the next right thing. Do the next right thing. Again, keep in mind that your tears contain 14 different kinds of toxins. Allow your tears to flow if you can. That's an honor and a privilege to feel our feelings. And if you'd like to work with me, please, you may go to my website, natalielevinastrology.com. You may make an appointment with me for a session there. There's also other ways to work with me on there. And you may follow me on Facebook, Natalie Levin, and Instagram, Natalie Levin Astrology. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. It means so much to me. And I read all your comments and they mean so much. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful you're all there. Take good care.